Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about I, Frankenstein. And this movie came out in 2014, and it stars Aaron Eckhart from The Dark Knight. And I think that's the only movie I've seen that he's in that I actually like. And everything else I've seen him in, he was terrible. And not just his performance, but also just really bad movies. And this movie I thought was terrible. I thought the trailers for this movie looked kind of cool when I was really young. But now that I'm an adult and time has passed and we've seen a bunch of stuff come and go, and this movie is pretty much completely forgotten about. No one talks about it. And I honestly didn't really get much out of this movie. The only things I really got out of it are just moments that were hilariously bad. And it's mostly just to do with the villains and some concepts and ideas that are just so ridiculously stupid that I kind of had an all right time watching this movie and just tearing it to shreds. And there's really nothing good about this movie, unironically. The visual effects look terrible. I never once believed that they were a part of the environment. And this movie, I believe, is made by the same people that brought us the Underworld franchise, and it definitely feels like a movie from that team. And I just found that to be kind of distracting after a certain point. And it also kind of made the Frankenstein's monster character seem a bit pointless. Like, why did he need to be in this story? He doesn't really seem that relevant all that much. Like, you could have written a movie where he's not even a part of it, but I guess the character Frankenstein, or at least the name Frankenstein, brings people to the seats so they can watch the movie. So that might be the only reason, just for marketing. And after watching the movie, it kind of makes sense, even if it's not really all that satisfying. Nothing that's set up in this movie or just even explored conceptually makes any sense to me. I was trying to piece parts of it together, but after a certain point, I just gave up because I honestly feel as though the movie doesn't even put much thought into the things that I'm thinking about. And normally I would give you an example, but I just have no idea where to even start with some of these things. Like, it's just all over the place. And everything just feels super rushed in this movie, and nothing is given any development. The cast in this movie I thought was very poor, and Jai Courtney, he was very distracting in this movie. I never bought him once for 1 second, and the music was overpresent and it didn't work at all, and it was kind of annoying overall, I would say. There were plenty of stock sound effects sprinkled throughout this movie, most notably the electricity. Whenever you can see it and they just go the stock sound effect, that was kind of annoying for me. I didn't like any of these characters. I didn't feel as though they were developed properly. And honestly, there's really no characters, really. You try to think about these characters and you think, okay, what can I say about these characters? Aside from just what they do in the movie. There's really nothing. I can't really think of anything. The dialogue in this movie is terrible. No character in this movie talks like a real person. And also the way characters interact with one another. I kind of got the impression that these people have never interacted with another human being in their lives. That's how awkward it feels when characters are just interacting with one another. And also, one thing that stood out to me as being particularly odd is about 20 minutes in, we got a big action scene, and the way it was being presented and executed, it felt like a third act action sequence. I was like, what are we doing here? None of this makes any sense. And eventually you do get a third act climax action scene. Sure, you do get that in the actual third act of the movie, but this movie feels like it has two third acts. And it barely feels like it has a first or a second act. And I haven't even mentioned the action scenes. Were they good, at least? Nope. There's not a single good action scene in this movie. They don't do anything creative or fun with any of these action scenes. And it's just really dull and boring to look at. And It's also poorly directed. There's not a single good shot. There's not a single moment where I'm thinking, oh, these are cool to look at or interesting to think about. There's not a single good character or line of dialogue. And speaking of the dialogue, the title, I, Frankenstein, I always thought that was a bad title. And much to my surprise, they do say it in a line of dialogue in this movie. And the way it was done, I thought it was dumb and stupid. But if that wasn't bad enough, it's literally the last line in the movie. I'm like, oh my God. That's so bad. I could not help but laugh at it. It was the dumbest way this movie could have ended, but at least it did go off on a high note, I guess. I was entertained. And at least 1/3 of this movie was completely dull to me, and I just didn't care about what the movie was showing me, and there was no fun, dumb stuff that I could enjoy. And my favorite stuff in this movie is just the villain of the movie. He's pretty funny, and the voice that they give him is also, I could not take seriously for one moment. So if you like funny bad movies, this is okay to watch, I guess. About an hour of it is kind of funny. The rest of it, that being 30 minutes, kind of dull. But if you're willing to sit through that, then you might get something out of it in terms of like a funny bad experience. But if you're looking for a genuinely good movie, stay away from this movie. It's not worth your time. There'll be 90 minutes you will never get back. And that would be my recommendation overall. So with all that being said, I'm going to give I, Frankenstein a 1 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of I, Frankenstein, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching, and have a great day.